Hi all, welcome to my channel, welcome to my world. This is the world of Wayne. Do you remember this? I really hope you liked that video. If you did, please remember to give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed.
It was at this moment that he knew. He f***ed up.
Well, today I'm actually going back to Lancaster now. I'm going to be doing the next 4 stages, which is stages 99 to 102. As you can see, it did survive in one piece. So we are going to be putting a little bit of the underside of the aircraft in on the last stage of this, but most of this is all to do with the stand and the base today. So we're going to be doing that. It is 4 stages. Again, I don't know if this is still available. I have put a link in the video description. You got the QR code on the screen. If I just bring this over, the things I was worried about when it fell off the shelf, I mean, everything's in where it needs to be, was these guns here. As you can see, they were both absolutely untouched. So I got really lucky with it, really lucky, because they are fragile. All they are is very thin plastic with an optic fibre running through them, so it doesn't take a lot to break them. And I know a lot of you have already broke yours, so sorry to hear that. I did manage to get a replacement issue 47 for the back ones, because I broke them way before it fell off that shelf there. As you can see, the only thing I've got on that shelf now is the Constitution, and that's not going anywhere. But 4 stages today. Without further ado, let's get cracking. Okay, stage 99. Here's the instructions. We're going to be doing the rotating mine today. Looking just like this. Not a lot to do in this stage by the look of it, and this is the rest of the magazine. Now, it is worth noting, in issue 100, they gave us a replacement for the bottom part of the aircraft that we already had. I believe in stage 96 they replaced it already, so I'm guessing we're not going to be using that. I don't know what the problem is with it. Matter of fact, I might go and dig out the original so we can see what the difference is. Obviously, that's not in this stage, but I've been looking through the instructions to see exactly what we're actually doing. And yeah, we've already got a replacement stage. Also in stage 101, we've got the replacement hinges, which I've already done on the channel. So there is a video for that already. So all we're going to do first is take these 2 parts of this rotating mine, and we're going to be putting that bearing in the middle, just like that. There is slots on it, so you need to make sure the slots go all the way in. Then I'm going to be putting this top on, which looks like this, lining up the holes. Perfect. And I've got these black screws here, which are NP screws, which is going to hold that in. Perfect. Now on the other side, I've got a spring. I'm going to push the spring in there. Once again, I've got another one of these bearings here, which is then going to push this out on this side. So this is now spring loaded. It's actually going to be spring loaded on both sides, because when I put this top on here, as you can see, that spring is going to enable this to sort of like clip into position. And once again, we've got these black screws to hold this in. 3 of these. That's the last screw going in there. Once again, you just want to check that you have got that springiness on both sides. That's all there is to do in that stage. So this is stage 100 here, and as you can see, we've got another part of the base. We've got some electrics here, which is going to provide power from the base into the aircraft, and you can see that's what we're doing here. We also got this replacement part here. Now that part there is to replace this part. This is part 93. I'm just going to put that to one side so I can have a look what the difference is between the part that's supplied here. Putting the base in, just like that. And then we're going to be taking this section, as you can see. This is what we created, God, what was this, back in 93 as well, I believe. And we've got some details to put on that as well. And this is the rest of the magazine. So that's a bit of a milestone, isn't it? Getting it to stage 100. Now, I'm not sure how many stages there are in this. I've got a funny feeling it was like 140, 141. So we are on the final straight now. So this is the part that's now been replaced. So let's have a look. So this is the new one. I'm going to keep the new one in my left hand. This is the one in the right hand. Ah, look, there's a size difference, I think. No, that looks okay. There is... I can't see a difference. I'll be honest with you. Are the holes drilled in the right place? Yeah. Don't know. Don't know what the difference is. Look on the underside. No idea. But this is the new one. This is the old one. So let's open all of these electrics up. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this pipe and I'm going to be taking the electrics here. I'm going to be passing this through. Now, when we put this in, I'm going to want to line up the hole just there. Grab one of these silver FP screws and put that in this side. That's going to hold that into place there. And then what I'm going to do is plug these leads in here. They're labelled Y1 and Y2. Make sure we put these in the right ones, otherwise we're going to have a bad time. Make sure they're securely fastened, and then what I'm going to do is feed this into here. And again, I want to line up this hole on this side and secure with one of the silver screws. So that rod now has got a power connection connecting that side to that side. Put that to one side and bring up what we've been building here. I'm going to be adding another piece just onto here. Again, following the pattern, so it's exactly the same. So this is going to be going on here just like that. It's held in with 2 JP screws from the other side. So hold that from the underside there so I can screw these in. These will actually benefit from my PH1 screwdriver. And then I've got 2 brackets which I'm going to be putting in here. So one this side and 2 screws to hold that in. And then just one here. Screw that in there. I now need the pillar support. Now this was provided, I believe, in stage 94. Bring up this section here. And this is going to be going into the position just here. Like that. So hopefully one of the cameras can pick this up. Now I've got some KP screws. I need 4 of these to hold this into place. And it is screwed in from this side here. Now I do have 4 of these screws left over, which I'm guessing we're probably going to need again soon, so I'm just going to keep them safe and put this on the floor. Bring over this section here. As I said, this section came in stage 93, and I've got this bar that I'm going to want to put in. So it's actually going to go into the 3 holes that we can see here, here and here, but I am going to need to glue this into place. So I will put the tiniest amount of glue just on the bases here rather than the lugs, and I'll get this in. Perfect. Now, a bit nervous about putting the next bit in, I have to say. It's this sort of like little aerial. It's a pin detail. Put some glue on this. And it's going to go into the D-shaped hole just here. So that's in flush there. And then the last detail I've got is very tiny. Look at this. Bit of glue on here. Which again is angled so it can only go in one way. The instructions aren't very clear of that, but look, that is the angle that goes in, because that's the shape of the little D socket. And that is all there is to do in that stage. I have to say I am very, very nervous about adding those details in, because you know I'm going to break them. Okay, so in stage 101, we do have the replacement hinges here. I've already done this. The video for that is actually up here. If you want to see that, it's also in the playlist. But I have already done the undercarriage hinges. That's the 3rd time we've changed those. Now, if we look at the instructions, pretty much it's showing us how we put those in. And that's all we're going to be doing. So I don't actually have anything to do in that stage. But if you look at the box here, and I'm going to keep everything in the box, we do have a part of the frame in here, and we've got parts of the speaker system as well. We're not actually using that though. So, final stage here is stage 102. As you can see, we've got some parts here. I'm going to be building up onto the frame. Looks like we're using the parts from the last stage. Then I'm building the speaker system here, putting that into position just like this. And then I'm going to be working onto this fuselage section here. Looks like I'm turning this over and I'm actually going to fit this into place, which is going to hide the wires that we got there. So quite a bit to do in this last stage. So for that reason, it's probably best to open stage 101 now. There's all your replacement hinges and stuff, but as I said, I don't need to do those. I will get everything else out here though. I want to bring up the frame, and it's basically this length here, which has got the circle on it, that I'm going to be adding to. So this is actually going to be going in here just like that. Got some brackets here. And the bracket we want is the one with the flat top on it, not the one that's got holes on each side. That's just going to go up here. That's held in with JM screws. Now these are these silver screws here. And that's perfect. Obviously there's nothing holding these in at the moment, so this can still move around at the moment. Because I'm now going to create this speaker here. And the way I'm going to do this is take the speaker grill and the speaker. I'm just going to check that all the contacts are okay on the speaker, which they are. That's just going to be fitting into here. The wire for this is actually going to be going through this section here. So it's coming out the end. Let's get that through. And as you can see, when that's in place, I've got a place for 4 of these OP screws. And that's going to keep this into place. Now with this last screw going in there, we're actually going to be putting this onto that frame now. So I've brought this back over again. And this is actually going to go into the position just here. Just like that there. And it's held in with JM screws. That's those silver screws again. And there you go. That's perfect. Let me just put that to one side. And then I can actually open, because I haven't done that yet, the parts for stage 102. I'll get all of these open. And as you see, we've got a switch here. Once again, I'm just checking the terminals are attached to that. That's looking good. I'm going to want to put this into position on here. So let's just drop the lead through there and push that into place. There you go. Takes some pushing, but it's in. Bringing over the frame again. This is actually going to be going into the position down here. So it's just a case of lining this up and putting that in here. And then once again, we've got these JM screws, which is going to hold this into place. Perfect. Okay, we can put that on the floor. Now we've got this starboard Bombay housing here. Little tiny part, this one. And the first thing I want to do is in these slots at the top here, I've got some magnets to put into place, which are here. And I'm going to want to slot the magnets into these slots here, push them down. So one there. And one there. I've then got some hinges that I'm going to need to put on. Now there is a way these go. We want the thinner side of the hinges to be going onto this section like this here. And I'm going to run this all the way along. They're actually held in with these PP screws. So what I'll do is if I get all 4 of these in, show you what that looks like. So this is the last screw just going in here. And as you can see, all 4 of those hinges are now in place. So the last thing we need to do is take the replacement part that we've got here. And again, I can't see what the difference is between these two, I have to say. No idea. Bring over the fuselage. Now, if I turn this over upside down, and I want to ensure that I'm not going to be trapping any point that this is actually going to be connecting to. So, this is going to be a little bit fun. I think what I'm going to do is just put some screws in the back section first, then tidy the wires up around this section. I should have enough that I can actually manipulate that. Now in stage 93, we had some GM screws looking like this. Let's get these into place and start screwing this down. So it's going to take 5 of these GM screws. And it is taking some manoeuvring, that's for sure. What I'm trying to do is make sure that there's no wires trapped where I'm screwing this in. And as you can see, that is in place there. Lovely. Aha! And that is also all there is to do in that stage. So it's coming along. I'm guessing we are going to start piecing the whole panels on now. I've no idea. I'm glad that I've still got the guns. Obviously, when we have the top section down, that's going to sit flush in there. But yeah, looking pretty good, huh? Let me gently put that down without breaking anything. It's always good when I can end without breaking anything. Anyway, I really hope you liked that video. If you did, please remember to give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed already, please remember to subscribe. Other than that, take care.